Well, you know, when I was in Miami Beach working with Rip Taylor and Frankie Scott, there were clubs like the Fontainebleau, there were so many clubs in Miami Beach that they were talking about the DeCastro Sisters. And I remember when I was working the bases in Germany and all over the world, the DeCastro Sisters, great singing stars. Well, here we are at the Roosevelt, the famous Hollywood Roosevelt, and the DeCastro Sisters are here, and they're here on the famous Cinegrill. Began your singing career in Havana, Cuba. Is that correct? Is that where you?
That's correct. That's correct.
But your idol was the Andrews Sisters. Tell me about that. You didn't copy the Andrews Sisters. You just did your own style.
We did our own style with the music.
What do you mean by the music?
We copied all the music.
Okay.
I mean, we did Roll Up the Barrel.
Right.
And all the goodies things.
But you added some comedy to that. You didn't just sing straight.
No, we didn't, because we made so many mistakes.
What do you mean by that?
We lost up so many things that we had to think of something to have an applause of the audience. So I proceeded to add a little salt and pepper to it.
I like that word, salt and pepper.
Salt and pepper.
But ICM or what was it? The agency. It was GAC. Now tell me about GAC. They caught you, and they're the ones who signed you up and brought you to. You were at Miami Beach. Am I correct?
Exactly.
And what happened? Tell me.
Well, do you want to tell them about our first manager?
Oh, yes. Tell me.
Let's get Liz Taylor's at...
Liz Taylor. You know something? She does look like... Give me that look. A Liz Taylor. Come on. Do you look like a Liz Taylor? Look at... Well, all the way, honey. You'll never drown.
No, she floats beautifully.
She does. Liz Taylor. Is this your Liz Taylor of the...
Sister Act? Oh, definitely.
Really?
I wish. I think she's beautiful.
No, she's just...
You are beautiful too, darling. You don't have to wish. You are what you are.
Thank you.
You're all from Cuba.
See?
Yeah.
But you're from a very, very interesting family, which I love. Your father was a very rich plantation, sugar plantation.
Sugar.
And your mother
was a Zickfield Follies beauty.
Zickfield Follies beauty.
Yep, she worked right at the Schubert Theater right up the street in New York.
Tell me about
Jolson, Eddie Cantor. She worked with all those people.
So you gals really, showbiz, born in the trunk, like Judy Garland says, I was born in the trunk. You girls were born in the trunk.
You could say that.
Almost.
Almost, not almost. You did, darling.
Yeah.
And your parents are still alive.
No. They passed away.
They did?
Yeah.
But your parents were living in New York at a place called where John Lennon was.
John Lennon.
I was
at the
born
Dakota?
there.
She was born at
You were at Dakota?
Yes.
At the Dakota building.
Really?
Yes.
They had rented an apartment or leased an apartment. That was my mother's second daughter.
Right.
She didn't know it was a daughter, but it was going to be me. And she said, I want my second child to be American. Because Peggy was born on the plantation in the Dominican Republic.
And you?
I was born in Hollywood, California.
Were you really?
Los Angeles, the city of the angels.
Why do you call it the city of the angels? I hate it here, but that's okay.
Well, this was just a few years ago.
Right.
When it was Hollywood.
Yes, when it was.
And then, of course, we were raised in Havana.
Tell me about from Miami Beach. Now, ICM brought you, and they brought you, and you did the Ed Sullivan, the Perry Como show.
Right.
Tell me about the Perry Como show. What happened?
It was wonderful. He was one of the nicest people we've ever met in show business.
Perry Como.
Perry Como.
He is the nicest. Everyone said that to me. And you were Steve Allen.
Steve
Allen.
Ed Sullivan.
Jackie Gleason. Yeah.
You gals really did it all, really.
Bob
Right from the
Hope. We
beginning.
did a show with Bob Hope.
And Bob Hope.
Yeah.
We were really doing it.
What were you doing? In the service, doing shows with Bob in the service, overseas or something, or what?
No, we
With
did
Bob?
one show with him.
Yeah, well, we did his TV show.
But the Copacabana, Las Vegas,
Yes.
you did them all. The
George
DeCastro
Burns, the
Sisters.
first ones with George Burns.
You were the first
Yes.
with George Burns?
Yes.
Working with him. Tell me about it.
Yes, oh, that was wonderful. It was 1959 at the Sahara Hotel.
Las
We
Vegas.
did a big show here at the City of Hope. And so many stars were on it, and we did 3 numbers, and he said, I want you on my first show. And he says, I'm going to have a newcomer to open the show by the name of Bobby Darin, that had just done Splish Splash. And a beautiful, wonderful dancing team, Rasha and Tybee.
Right, I knew them very well. I loved Rasha and Tybee. They turned like a top. Turned like a top at the end of his act.
Johnny
Her act,
Ross.
remember? Wasn't she wonderful?
Yes.
Don't you miss dance teams? I don't know
That's
what
the kind
in, but I miss.
Yeah, you work with classy acts.
Yes, we did.
Classy show business girls. I'm watching you last week at the Roosevelt in the Cinegrill, and I sat there and I said, oh God, this is real show business. This is what, I mean it, ladies and gentlemen. They are show business, what I remember in the 50s.
Well, we were at the Trocadero, and a little lady by the name of...
Trocadero?
At the Trocadero.
Carmen Miranda.
Yes, and
Tell me about it.
We were there with the La Cuana Cuban boys. Let me say
Yes.
that the Cuban stuff, because you see, we're related in there with Desi Arnaz. You know?
Right.
And Desi Arnaz, like Lucy.
Yes.
Yeah, so when we at Trocadero, this lady comes in, listen, I'm going to put you girls in the pictures. And I tell the director, if you know puts the girls in the pictures, you know works. We got in the pictures, and by God, it was Carmen Miranda.
Carmen Miranda is responsible for the DeCastro Sisters appearing in the wonderful motion, her last motion picture, I understand, the Copacabana. That was her last.
Yes.
What kind of woman was Carmen Miranda?
A dynamite
Adorable.
Well, let's
spitfire.
tell her what she told us. We were working at the time at Larry Potter's while we were
And
shooting.
here in L.A.
The Copacabana,
Yeah.
yes. And she came in to see us, and she said, I have 3 wonderful dates for you girls. He says, what's this with the mother and father always with you, because we were always with them.
Yes.
And we said, no, we can't, we don't date. That's terrible. She said, I got away from them. I'll show you a good time, a good time.
She says, you know what? I'm going to take you to a place. I'm going to get a beautiful man, and I'm going to throw him in and give you some experience. You got innocent eyes. That's no good. No good. That's what she said.
When I was a little boy, I remember my mother, when my mother was out shopping, I used to go to my mother's bedroom, and I used to get her turbans, and I used to tap it around my head, and I used to get my mother's high heels, and I used to put cheeks, and I used to come and Miranda, like a very much. I used to copy. I don't think there was one gay boy in America ever thought of putting Carmen Miranda. Carmen Miranda. She was responsible for me to be in show business, Carmen Miranda, like you are.
She's responsible for a lot of people in show
Well,
business.
she put us up to mischief.
She wanted to really put us up to big mischief, but we didn't go.
50 years in show business, you gals. I wanted to look at you 3. You look great. Tell me, the secret of show business, like, I'm going to talk to you now, really.
All right, I'll
What
ask.
have you really learnt about these wonderful people you've traveled around the globe? You've been around the globe, you've tasted life.
Yes.
You've entertained to the best. What have you really learned about
I have
people?
really learned never to get burned out on the thing you love in your life, and don't ever let anybody kill it or talk you out of it. You are what you are.
And you? What
The
is
same thing, we've learned to be diplomatic, and we know how to treat all kinds of people. We never look down on anybody or anything. It taught us that everybody has something wonderful in them.
And like
What would
George
you like-
Burns said, I'll never retire. Will you girls? Never, Georgie. He says, as long as you can keep up with me, always. And we always received, for the next 36 years, a Christmas card, the first one, always came from George Burns and signed by him. I kept the last 3. God bless him. He made it to 100.
Teach me tonight. Every time I hear that word, teach me tonight, the DeCastro Sisters. I must say, DeCastro Sisters, you've sold 5 million records. That is a lot of records.
And that was the
at
flip
that
side.
time.
Flip side.
Flip side?
Yes.
Yeah, it was a B-side.
Yes.
Was it really?
Yes, it was.
God bless the disc jockeys.
Did you know that at that time you were recording this number that's going to be such a big hit?
No.
Really?
No, and you remember that show that Cherie?
Dick Clark show?
No, the show that says, is it a hit
or is it a
Yes,
miss?
yes,
or a miss?
of course.
I forget who was on it, but
Julie London
Julie London and her husband.
and Bobby Troop.
And
Bobby
and they
Troop,
all
of
went,
course,
well,
the trumpet
this-
player, right.
Right, they said, this song is a miss. Because the
He said-
song, yes, The song is a miss. Too many. Did you say I like to lot to learn? Well, they think I want to not to learn.
No, they didn't like our accents. They said, what are those T's? Where do they come from?
Teach me tonight. We do not like that. We still do.
And you know what? That's what made it. Everybody said, oh, there go the sisters.
But Robert De Niro's movie, hey,
Yes.
come on, girls.
Yes.
Teach me tonight, cha-cha-cha. What was that all about?
We recorded it.
Yeah, tell me.
Cha-cha,
You recorded?
1958 again, but in Cha-Cha Tempo.
Tell me about that.
Oh, my
It's in the
goodness.
movie, of
Yeah.
Robert De Niro's
Yes.
movie.
Yes.
This Boy's Life or something
This
like that?
Boy's Life.
Is it?
Yes.
Okay.
It is.
So,
And it was in the risque part of
It was the love scene.
The love
It
scene.
was.
That's what I
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he
You
was
gotta
having
see
a
the
ball
movie.
with somebody going, did you say I've got a lot?
Yeah.
He was keeping time to the goodies.
did you have a good time? Have you had a good time?
I've had a
years, you
wonderful
girls.
time.
50 years. Have you had a
Yes.
good time?
Yeah,
Yes.
we love each other more
Looking
than
back,
ever.
looking back.
Oh, yes. We have
How about
had.
arguments between...
Oh, yeah.
Only about the show, the act, three
about
different minds.
the
That's
three
it.
sisters here are different.
Never got into any each other's ways
No.
about the opposite sex or anything like
How
that.
wonderful.
Or just the act.
Well, we have a
Married,
saying.
That's all.
married,
Yeah.
married,
Married.
married.
Yes.
Married,
Children, all
divorced.
children,
Between.
No, no children.
No,
Cats.
Yeah,
I have
cats.
10
You have
cats.
cats, okay,
Yeah.
good. And you,
I got 2 boys, and they're very talented.
and you live where?
And I live in Santa Barbara.
And you?
Las Vegas,
Ah,
Nevada.
Las Vegas. And
Las Vegas, Nevada.
Nevada. Tell me,
yes.
why does all the entertainers go to Las Vegas? Why?
Oh,
They all
baby.
there.
I know, they want to
really
eat.
I'm a music hound, big bands and everything, so I hang, there's a place to go every night,
Yeah.
and I'm like the mascot, I'm one of the guys, one of the gang.
The DeCastro Sisters, I must tell you, every time I hear the word DeCastro Sisters, I just thought, just singers. But you proved something different to me last night, the other night. watching
Emotion,
it.
right?
Yes, very much so. It's very interesting to DeCastro Sisters. They should do a life story on you people for a movie. I think it would be very, very interesting
I
to
think
see.
you're right.
Did you write a book at all? Have you
Yeah,
written a
we
book?
do.
You
We
are?
have a book.
You have a
Yes,
book?
yes.
You have it now?
We have a thing written.
You do?
It's a
Yes, we've
Oh,
been trying to sell it.
Oh, you do have a book. What is it
Yes.
called?
First of all, it was going to be an American princess in Havana.
Okay.
Because it was referred to
It's
our
based
mother,
on our mother's
father.
life from the beginning of show
Of Lost
business.
Field, Sigfield.
Yeah, so
Right.
we come out of that.
Ah, okay.
See?
Interesting.
Interesting.
So maybe some
And
out
our
there.
mother has a lot of history. She married, who was she married to?
Conrad,
Conrad Nagel.
Nagel, of course.
Yeah.
That's your mother was married to.
well,
Yeah.
we weren't even thought of it.
At the moment.
Yeah.
Well,
Not for
girls,
several moments.
I know you got a show to do right now, and we're going to rush down there to do it. And boy, thank you.
Thank
No, we
you.
love you. Never
Thank
mind.
you. You're wonderful.
You're really fast on the
I
ball.
love you.
We also did the
See you
Mike Douglas
downstairs.
show and the Johnny Carson show
Johnny,
several
many of
times.
them. Many, I know you have. Thank
At
you.
the London Palladium.
Hey, the London Palladium.
Twice.
Twice.
Yes, yes.
Good. See you
Okay?
downstairs.
All right. Thank you.